I'm Anthony Bachman from All Things Good and Nerdy, a geeky podcast part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're checking out now. Shows on the network are individually owned and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other fantastic geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Jesus, man, you look like you're up to nefarious shit. And that is not a good look for someone who's actually up to nefarious shit, by the way.
I'm not ready.
No, I said 17 days. It's been 17 days. There is no I'm not ready here.
Ed? Ed? Ed?
Shit.
Ed? Ed? Do you see that? I still don't know why it happens. If I don't know what causes it, how can I be certain it won't happen to them?
Yeah, well, Christ, man, you should have thought about that 17 days ago. The accelerants follow the DNA profile precisely, okay? You keep them in the tanks, they keep aging. Your wife, 2 weeks from now, cancer, maybe? Your daughter, menopause, your son, I don't know, male pattern baldness and a droopy old man sack. My point is, in a couple of days, even if you do figure this out, they will have aged years beyond the age they were when they died. How are you gonna explain that? I mean, how are you not freaking out right now, William?
I'm trying to think.
Okay, good. Yeah, sure. You think. I'll think too. I'll think about what's it like in jail? Or when Bio9 sues us for $30 billion? Or what? What are you doing?
I'll sedate them. Induce a coma. It'll keep their minds in a blank state. Till I figure it out.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Smoking and Drinking in Space. This is a sci-fi podcast from a couple guys who think they know sci-fi. And this week we reviewed the movie where we learned that our speaking spells had feelings. It stars Keanu Reeves, Alice Eve, and Thomas Middleditch. It's 2018's Replicas. But first, he's the guy who you don't want to call to hide the bodies. It's Rob. How are you doing, Rob?
Well, yeah, I'm not going to go to all that trouble to like go and dig a hole and put the bodies in it, or go and get the acid and put it in the bathtub, and hell, I'm just going to show it to somebody.
Yeah, your boss. Yeah.
Why not?
Or your boss's boss, I guess.
It seemed like the easiest thing to do.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. I got something new today.
Oh my God. What is it?
Nutty Butters.
Nutty Butters?
Buddies. No, Nutty Buddies.
What are those?
Yeah. Those are those peanut butter wafer covered in chocolate. From
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Comes in a 2-pack. I'll eat one for me, and then I'll eat the second one for you and tell you how good it is during the episode, okay?
Yeah, thanks.
Well,
You're a great friend. I'm so glad. So glad.
Yeah.
You got any news this week?
Yes, I do. Are you wanting it?
Yeah, that's kind of the whole point. Yeah.
Well, all right. So I figured it was appropriate for me to eat something that was chocolate covered for today, because you know that age-old saying, neutron stars are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
No, I've never heard that. I don't think that's an actual saying.
No. There's a new study out there that reveals that neutron stars are actually like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Okay. Where are you getting this bullshit from?
ScienceAlert.com has posted a thing that neutron stars apparently can have structures similar to chocolates, in that they're either gooey or hard in the center. Now, whatever they're made out of, whatever is inside of those is still, it can be anything, right? Yeah.
Well, I don't think it can be just anything.
No. The kind of particle configurations that are in the center of those are still unknown, but the theoretical, new theoretical work is hold on. I was trying to read this word for word. There you go. Thank you, Ad. Move off to the side. I don't need to know about my rugged 7-inch canvas, 7-ounce canvas jacket. Thank you.
Your 7-inch canvas.
Yeah, 7-ounce canvas. Yeah. It's the world's coolest gear, by the way.
And it's 7 inches and it's rugged.
Yeah, exclusive drops. Get inspired and subscribe to Huckberry today. Damn it, now there's a husky on my screen. All right, anyway.
What the hell kind of porn do you look at?
I don't know, but it's popping up on both sides of the screen. Like when a new ad pops up, it's over on the left, and then it moves over to the right. The problem is all the words are on the left, and it's causing problems. Box of chocolates. New theoretical work reveals that this could put us closer to understanding these dead stars. Blah blah blah. Some studies have proposed that the nuclei inside these neutron stars form shapes that resemble pasta. So apparently ScienceAlert.com has a food fetish and is trying to push everything into it. But apparently it's these physicists that are led by Luciano Rizzola, or maybe it's Ravioli. I don't know.
And head scientist Chef Boyardee. Yeah.
Chef Boyardee from the Goethe University in Germany. So, there's that.
Oh my God.
Take it with what you want.
What else you got?
All right. So, some scientists have simulated a black hole in the lab, and then it started to glow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read about that.
A new kind of black hole analog could teach us a thing or two about an elusive radiation that theoretically emanates from real black holes. They used a chain of atoms in a single file to simulate the event horizon of a black hole, and then the physicists observed the equivalent of what is called. I like how it says of what we call, even though it's like, okay, who's this we? You as the editor? Is that what you call it? Maybe it's
right.
What the scientists call Hawking radiation, which is particles born from disturbances in the quantum fluctuations caused by a black hole's break in space-time.
Right.
So hopefully, or they say that this could help resolve tension between the two current frameworks out there. The general theory of relativity, which describes the behavior of a continuous field known as space-time, and quantum mechanics, which describes the behavior of discrete particles that using mathematics of probability.
Yeah.
So, those two theories kind of fight each other.
They don't really fight. We just don't know how they relate necessarily.
Right. Okay. There you go. They don't relate. They don't fit into nice little boxes. And
right.
So they're trying to figure out what those boxes. Maybe they just need to go look at some neutron stars because space is like a box of chocolates.
Right. They're not thinking of it in terms of food, and that's why they're getting confused.
Right. If Science Alert would just reference back to their other article about neutrons being chocolates, this article would have made a whole lot more sense. So right. I told you I had 3.5. So we're on number 3. You ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. So from, you're going to love this. From their trusted and proven sources. Do you know where I'm getting this from?
Yeah.
Giant
freaking robot. Yeah.
Yeah. From their trusted and proven sources, and I've seen this on other articles. It's just I know how much you love Giant freaking robot. Kurt Russell is returning for Escape from New York sequel.
What?
Yeah, they're doing a sequel to Escape from New York, and Kurt Russell is coming back.
I mean, so Escape from New York and Escape from LA were okay, decent, turn your mind off, watch the cool action flicks, but I don't know that we need to revive them.
It's not a revival. It's just a sequel. So it's not being revived. It's just being.
I don't know that we need a sequel. I don't know that we need
tell.
any more Escape from movies.
Well, apparently the powers that be think otherwise.
And all due respect to Kurt Russell, I think he's an excellent actor. He's a little long in the tooth to be reviving or revising Snake Plissken.
Well, maybe he's going to pass the baton off to somebody else.
Snake Plissken Jr.
Yeah. A la T'Challa Jr., Black Panther 2.
Right.
So, yep. So there's that. All right. So I have one half news thing.
Half news. How do you have half news?
Well, okay. So I was editing today, and this reminded me of some stuff that was going on. And frankly, I didn't have the full information on Wednesday when we recorded that episode. So now that it has been an additional 3 days, some more information has come out. And while, yes, Artemis 1 is successful, it was not without problems.
Okay, but it's still launched. You said it wasn't going to launch.
I did, but they've still had problems because of all of the bullshit and the lack of proper planning or whatever you want to call it, all the fiascos that had happened. The additional payloads that they were taking up to space, some tiny CubeSat satellites, to do different scientific experiments and that kind of stuff for different companies and countries, some of which was like Japan had one in there. I believe not China, France had one in there. There was a bunch of different companies that had one, but like the China Space Agency, or not China, Japanese Space Agency had one in there. Half of them were not working because the batteries were dead before it went up.
Oh, no.
And NASA even said on top of it that they were able to get a few of them charged before launch day, but not all of them.
Oh, my God.
Right. So while Artemis 1 technically the Artemis 1 mission so far is successful, I am going to have to call technicality on that because part of it was they were supposed to be sending stuff up there. And because of their inadequacies, they have fucked shit up for other agencies.
No, that was not your prediction. That was not your prediction.
I know.
You predicted it would not launch.
It would not launch.
They would scrub the launch.
That's
and they
true.
didn't, and it launched. And
Yes, it launched because they didn't want to be proven wrong, because they wanted to try to squeeze it in before their other date sometime at the end of November. They're like, nope, screw it. We're not charging your guys' satellite batteries, even though it is fully our fault that we had to scrub multiple times because we can't do quality QC work. Right, we can't check all of our shit before
they can't do quality check work.
Yes, exactly. That's how bad it is. Never mind the fact that you guys did what you're supposed to do and met our criteria and all that about putting these things in.
You're just
there.
salty because you were wrong.
We just left that. We left the thing running for 2 months because we had to keep backpedaling. I apologize for that. I know it's got solar panels on it and that's how you're going to keep your batteries charged, but that's fine. We'll throw them up there. We'll see if it just happens to turn just right to face the sun so that it can recharge itself. Yeah.
You're just salty because you were wrong. If you had stuck with your original
I
prediction
would be
instead of getting all nervous and like, no,
yeah.
I'm switching it. There's a hurricane coming. I'm switching it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. But you switched it.
I did. Yep. But still, it does make me feel a little bit better that,
Nostradamus
sailing.
was wrong.
Yeah, it makes me feel better though that it wasn't without a hitch. There was a little, NASA rearing its ugly, incompetent head from time to time. Not totally incompetent. I'm just saying that their track record is a little lacking on this particular mission. I hope Artemis 2 goes off flawlessly.
Well, yeah, I do too, because it's going to have people in there.
Well, yes, but I'm talking about like they get it right the first time around. They don't have to oh no, we got to equipment malfunction or something like that. I do hope that their first window of opportunity, maybe don't choose hurricane season, would work.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, especially with human, I can poke fun at this one because it's completely unmanned, but I don't wish anybody to die. But
I'd hope not.
Yeah, but except for you on certain days, sometimes you just piss the hell out of
days that end on Y.
Yeah, and have
pretty
an
much.
A in there somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
you
all
ready
I
for a
got.
pod crawl?
Yeah, I suppose I've wasted enough time.
Let's do this.
We can call it, I don't know, say a pod crawl? The pod crawl! Pod crawl! Pod crawl! Pod crawl! Excellent! Insert it deep! Pod crawl! Kind of like a space suppository full of information.
Jason sent me some mindless drivel about how there were plot holes large enough to drive a crashing minivan through, and I got so bored rehearsing that I passed out. Instead, to help usher in the new era of your robotic overlords, I outsourced this week's pod crawl to some friends to get their much more educated take on this movie.
Oh, God.
Replicas is a 2019 American science fiction thriller film directed by Jeffrey Nachmanoff and written by Chad St. John from a story by Stephen Hamill. The film stars Keanu Reeves, Alice Eve, Thomas Middleditch, John Ortiz, and MJ Anthony. It follows a scientist who violates the law to bring his family back to life after they die in a car crash. The movie Replicas starts off with William Foster, Keanu Reeves, being a successful scientist who works on transferring human consciousness into artificial intelligence or clones. After his wife Mona, Alice Eve, and their 3 children die in a car accident, William becomes desperate to bring them back and turns to breaking the law in order to do so. He manages to clone his family, but soon realizes that the clones are not exactly like his original family members and are missing some key memories and traits. As he tries to figure out how to fix this problem, the government catches wind of what he's doing and sends agents after him in order to stop him. William must go on the run with his family while also trying to find a way to perfect the cloning process so that his loved ones can truly be brought back to life again. Along the way, there are plenty of action-packed sequences as well as touching moments between William and his cloned family members as they all try to adjust to their new lives together. Overall, Replicas is an enjoyable science fiction thriller that will keep audiences entertained from beginning to end thanks largely in part due to its strong cast led by Keanu Reeves. While it may not be one of the best movies of 2019, it is still worth checking out if you're looking for something fun on movie night.
Replicas is a mind-bending sci-fi thriller starring Keanu Reeves as a scientist who will stop at nothing to bring his family back after they're killed in a car accident. When he learns that he can clone them and create perfect replicas, he does just that. But as the clones begin to exhibit strange behavior, it soon becomes clear that they're not exactly the same as the people they were created to replace. The film raises interesting questions about what it means to be human and whether or not our memories and experiences define us. It's also pretty funny, thanks in large part to Reeves' deadpan performance. If you're looking for a thought-provoking science fiction film with plenty of twists and turns, Replicas is definitely worth checking out.
Replicas is a science fiction action thriller film directed by Jeffrey Nachmanoff and starring Keanu Reeves, Alice
Are
Eve,
these just
Thomas
reviews
Middleditch,
that you
John
found?
Ortiz, Natalie Martinez, and Emil Hirsch. The plot follows scientist William Foster, Reeves, who clones his deceased family in an attempt to bring them back to life. The movie Replicas tries really hard to be a lot of things, a heart-wrenching drama about loss, an exciting sci-fi action movie with mind-bending concepts, and even a bit of comedy relief now and then. But unfortunately it doesn't quite succeed at any of these genres simultaneously. and as a result, the film feels disjointed overall. Starting with the positive aspects first, the acting from all cast members is very good across the board. You genuinely feel for William Foster's grief as he loses his wife and children in a tragic car accident, which makes sense given that Reeves himself has tragically lost loved ones in real life too. Additionally, the special effects used for both cloning sequences are excellent, making you believe that this technology could actually be possible one day. These scenes are also intercut with some nice visual metaphors involving birds taking flight, representing hope and new beginnings. However, despite all these strong points, ultimately Replicas falls short due to its uneven pacing, predictability despite having some enjoyable moments. On the whole, Replicas is not particularly successful either as gripping drama or thrilling sci-fi adventure. As such, it's probably best suited only for die-hard fans of either genre or those curious enough to see Keanu Reeves play yet another conflicted mad scientist character.
Replicas is a 2019 American science fiction thriller film directed by Jeffrey Nachmanoff and written by Chad St. John from a story by Stephen Hamill. The film stars Keanu Reeves, Alice Eve, Thomas Middleditch, John Ortiz and MJ Anthony. It follows a scientist who tries to clone his dead family after they are killed in a car accident. The movie Replicas was not that great, but it had its moments. I would give the acting about a C+, the directing about a B-, and the writing about D+. Overall, I found myself being pretty bored during this movie. If you're looking for something mind-bending or exciting, then Replicas probably isn't going to be your cup of tea. However, if you don't mind slow films with mediocre plots, then go ahead and check it out.
All right.
What the hell?
2018's Replicas. So I was running a little experiment. I decided to use GPT-3 to try and generate a comedic movie review, and just to see kind of where some of the GPT-3 text generation capabilities were. And yeah, AI still doesn't grasp the concept of like comedy or sarcasm or irony or satire in any form or fashion, or at least through my experimentations with GPT-3. So my prompt was 3,000 word funny essay reviewing the movie Replicas. And I ran it several times, and these were some of the best outputs that I got from that model. So
okay. Maybe they should watch the movie first.
Well, I mean, yeah. So it doesn't actually watch the movie. I think it's going off of basic.
It needs to.
It's going off of online reviews and plot synopses off of the net. So yeah.
Right. So at first, I thought maybe you had like copy and pasted Wikipedia. Hold it right on. So I actually pulled it up, and I'm like, okay, where is he at in this thing? Nope, he isn't actually. He didn't copy and paste. All right. I mean, that was interesting.
It was. I wanted to run an experiment.
Definitely not right, but interesting.
Yeah. So
I mean, it gave me time to eat my Nutty Buddy.
Thank God.
Well.
All right. So Replicas. What did you think about the movie?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't like just downright terrible awful, but it wasn't good.
Yeah, it really wasn't good.
It was very much middle of the road. Okay, we've seen this before. Recycled story with a slight modern edge to it.
I think it had promise. I think.
Oh yes,
I think the theme that they were exploring was really, really promising. I think the execution in the writing, in the acting, in the direction was just absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, so I kind of started thinking that this was something similar, something like an offshoot of iRobot or something, with the fact that the robot gained sentience or something like that. So at first I thought that this was what that was going to kind of push towards. Like I didn't know cloning was involved at first. Like I didn't read anything about the thing. I just turned it on. So, they do the beginning where they're shoving the brain into the, shoving
where they're replicating the brain into the android.
Robot. Yeah. So I was like, okay, so at some point in time, they're going to figure it out. And then the kids in the family die. And then it's like, okay, he's going to shove that into them. And then out of left field is cloning.
Yeah,
right.
And I kind of figured there was going to be some sort of cloning. I'd seen previews of it a few years ago whenever it was just releasing. And it looked interesting, but I never got to the theater to watch it.
Well, neither did anybody else.
Right. And I never watched it on streaming services either. So it was one of those things that it was on my radar, but it was way the fuck down the list. I just had too much other stuff going on. So I never actually watched it.
I'm so glad it bubbled to the top of your list this week.
Well, yeah, that's all because of you. Thanks.
Oh, that's true. But, it wasn't bad. I mean, it was, as you like to say, it was kind of a turn it on and just let it play.
Yeah, but I mean,
there was some glaring moments, but I mean,
it has an identity crisis. It doesn't know if it wants to be this deep philosophical sci-fi movie,
right?
Where it's exploring, themes like what is it to be human? Can you actually transfer consciousness? If you transfer consciousness, are you actually the same person? Is this kind of a Ship of Theseus type thing or what? Or if it wants to be some sort of action movie, because they pivoted all at once into action movie, like 2/3 of the way through the fucking movie. And so then they're running away and they're doing things like frying these tracking devices that somehow got implanted whenever they were getting regenerated in the primordial ooze and the cloning vat.
So wait, hold on. Let's break that down for just a second, okay?
Okay.
So you've got John Wick and the Verizon guy.
Verizon guy.
Yeah. Yeah, John Wick and the Verizon guy. They they steal the shit. They steal the tech from their own company, knowing full well how it works, right? So the guy steals the vats. Puts all the amino acids. The vats are empty when they steal them. They bring barrels upon barrels of ooze. And then halfway through the movie, we find out that a chip is implanted during the process.
Right.
Where the hell did that chip come from?
Exactly.
And you could have prevented that because you did it yourself.
Right. Yeah. No, that's exactly one of the huge plot holes that just plagues this movie.
I mean, I understand it being potentially in even if it was in their normal clones when they were cloning rats or whatever they were doing, that still doesn't make sense. I mean, that means you had to stop the cloning process, or you had to suspend the chip right where you think the vertebrae is going to be built, because it runs off of their nervous system.
Yeah, but I mean, they were moving all the time in there, so that wouldn't even work.
Exactly. Or you implant it after the fact via surgery,
or somehow the magical vat, produces this chip out of the goo,
non-organic components that are in the other part of the chamber.
Right. Yeah. Right. No, it's fucking stupid. It was a plot device that they didn't need. They could have easily just put a tracking device on the fucking car.
Yeah.
And that would have served the exact same purpose. They could have gone someplace else to get rid of the tracking device on the car. They could have stolen another car. They could have done anything, but instead they wanted to go to whatever clinic that she works in for whatever reason, so that they could use defibrillation machines to shock themselves. That probably would have, fucked them up pretty bad, so that they could fry these chips. Yeah. And even all of that didn't fucking matter, because 5 minutes later they get captured anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that was one of the dumbest fucking things in this movie but
just
second,
one of them.
Oh, there was tons.
Yeah. I'm just saying that's
tons.
just one of the dumbest things.
I mean,
so what else you got?
So, okay. So since we're going over quabbles and there's a
might as well.
ton of them.
Is there anything good to say about this?
The special effects for what they showed, I mean, it was over the top. The graphics that they showed with the holographic interface that he did. That was over the top, but it was kind of cool.
The robot sucked though.
Yeah, the robot was pretty horrid.
Yeah. That was stop motion robot.
Was it really?
Oh, I have no idea, but
it looked like it. Yeah.
Dude, Terminator had better robot CGI than this, and this came out way after Terminator.
Right. I mean, I'm trying. Thomas Middleditch did a really good job in this. I mean, his performance was actually probably the best performance in the movie.
Right. He did good.
Keanu Reeves was just phoning it in. He was
right. The only other thing, Alice Eve's butt. That was a good part.
Yeah, on her side boob. Yeah, that was a pretty good part. Yeah, that's about all that comes to mind for good parts of this movie. Yeah. No, so the first major quabble that I had was he came in and said that he only had 3 vats that he could.
Right.
He only had 3 vats.
Yeah.
Okay. So he had to pick 3 people that he was going to bring back. Like he couldn't bring back ever the 4th person.
Right.
But
3 vats
are reusable.
3 vats bring enough shit to make 4.
Yeah, you could reuse one of the vats later on to bring back. You've got everybody's brain downloaded into fucking these big ass external hard drives. Bring her back separate, or bring one of these people back separate. You might want to do your kids first, and then I don't know, kids first, and then the wife last. I don't know.
No, I would have done the wife first.
Just and then all 3 kids.
And then maybe all 3 kids all at the same time.
That would have been a way to go too.
Yeah, that way, because your wife is going to be more susceptible, or more
accepting,
more accepting, more susceptible to being accepting the fate, right? And you say, "Hey, this is what happened," right? And then you've got somebody in your corner, because she was. I mean, okay, so she was pissed because he
deleted her memories.
Right. He deleted Zoe, or Zoe.
Yeah, Zoe.
But she wasn't really necessarily pissed that he brought her back.
Right.
So I think, and with the thing, you say, honey, you bring her back, and you're like, hey, where are the kids? Okay, I've got something I need to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, all 4 of you died. What? Oh my God. It's okay. You're a clone. What? It's fine. We're going to bring the other 3 back.
Right.
I need your help. We're going to act like nothing happened.
Right.
Okay. But I need you to, and then it's like, okay, not a big deal. But no. You got to have this whole big moral dilemma.
Where he takes basically everything that his youngest daughter owned, threw it away, tried to erase all signs that they ever had a younger daughter.
Yeah.
Erased memories in his family of her.
Yeah.
But
now, I understand.
I mean, how is he going to get through all of the other people that know that he has a younger daughter, and all of the pictures online of his younger daughter and all of this other evidence that his younger daughter actually existed. That was a huge plot hole there.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, you just say that you're going to homeschool everybody.
Right.
Moving forward. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Yeah, that could have been handled differently. And, and frankly, it might have been better if it was just those two and then the jig was up.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're trying to escape with the equipment or whatever, and then you get some sort, and then you bring in the robot or whatever, and then the end beat is, instead of just seeing Zoe walking down the beach, it's
all three
the
of
family.
them.
Yeah, it's the family walking on the beach or something.
Yeah.
But no, they had to make it difficult.
And not only that, but he said he only had 3 vats. The next scene, he's walking through the lab and there's vats all over the place.
Right. Maybe only 3 vats in storage. Maybe they're are they a one-time use vat? They can't be.
No, I wouldn't say that. No.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. It had some issues all over the place. Like, okay, so here's a good one. Now, I know weather is unpredictable, but I mean, they jump in the car and it looks like it's middle of the afternoon, maybe early afternoon, right? And they're going to the boat.
Right.
Okay. First off, who in their right mind would plan a boat trip and go in the middle of the afternoon or whatever, so that when they show up, it is dark and you really can't do anything anyway?
Well, you get on the boat, you sleep on the boat, and you go out the next morning.
Okay. All right, fine. I'll give you that to you. Second off, bright, sunny, no big deal. All of a sudden, it's pissing rain and it's the middle of the night. Are we almost there?
Well, I mean, it's Puerto Rico. Yeah. It's on an island. Storms pop up all the time.
Okay. Third thing. They make it seem like the boat is far away. However, the whole group escapes and goes to the boat to try to escape, only to not be able to go because somebody has beaten them there to it.
Right.
So obviously the boat isn't really that far away.
Right.
Maybe an hour tops.
If that. And I wouldn't even say that. Yeah.
Right. You could probably drive around Puerto Rico in like 3 hours. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, the timing on it was terrible. And who in their right mind drives that fast on a backcountry road in the rain, windy, and all that kind of good stuff?
Keanu Reeves.
Obviously. Because, let's have a close call with the truck and just swerve, but let's keep going at high speed
right.
And not like stop and go, okay, is everybody all right? All right, let's keep going.
Right.
No. And then the only thing I can think of is this was the middle of summer, because it is piss and rain. It is so rainy. But when Verizon guy shows up, everything's pretty much dry. There was no water on the street.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, everybody's clothes were nice and dry. It didn't even look like he just crawled out of a river.
No, it did. In fact, I noticed that his pants were wet except around the crotch. So it was like a reverse pissed his pants.
Yeah. But I mean, he wasn't sopping wet. He had dirty clothes and that kind of deal. But when the guy showed up, he wasn't sopping wet.
True.
I mean, it's like, okay, well, it's a nice humid evening.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know. It's just, yeah. That's all I got. This movie wasn't.
It wasn't great, and I really resented the fact that they just pivoted out of nowhere to his boss actually being some sort of spook for some sort of defense lab. I mean, how do you not know that the laboratory that you're working for is a defense lab?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
especially
absolutely
that high
no
up,
sense.
That high up in the food chain.
Yeah,
and it's just
and to own a house like that and drive a Chevy Malibu, that didn't make sense either.
Well, that's a company house.
You think?
Yeah, it's got to be a company house. Which and then even so, I mean, I've got the flu. Well, okay. Why don't, or pneumonia? It was pneumonia. I've got pneumonia. Why didn't you just say, hey, I'm going to work from home to try to solve this brain issue so that I can just focus on that and not have to worry about anything else happening at the office.
Right.
Let me just sit here and figure this out in my own time without some pressure type of deal. But it's like, no. This one failed. So if you can't get it to work in 2 days, we're getting shut down. Really? Because you're trying. Yeah.
Well, I can kind of see that. I mean, if you accept the premise that this is some sort of, defense research lab or weapons research lab.
We don't know that yet.
True, right? We don't know that yet.
The ultimatum.
But if we accept that premise later, then what he was doing is he was trying to apply pressure in order to force some sort of breakthrough.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And how did they know through the whole time? Well, okay. Oh, the trackers in the butt. That's how they knew that new clones were online.
Yeah. And that and he what's his face told his boss whenever his boss discovered the bodies that he didn't get rid of. Yeah.
Right. That's true. I forgot about that little side tidbit of, hey, get rid of the bodies because I can't.
In
really?
The ending, absolutely. I hated the ending.
Oh, you didn't like the little reveal of, Robot William is actively working with the other dude?
Well, I mean, he kind of hinted that was going to be the thing whenever he made the deal with the guy that, if they would get the lab off of his family's back, that he would, bring them back to life and make them rich.
Mm-hmm.
I hated that ending. I mean, that's the dude that character did not deserve that redemption arc. He was absolutely a one-dimensional fucking asshole throughout the entire movie. And
you talking about Boss Man?
Yeah, the Boss Man.
Okay, yeah.
He was an absolute one-dimensional asshole throughout the entire movie, and he makes off like a bandit at the end. Right. That's absolutely the ending sucked balls.
Right, and we're Robot William has no moral compass compared to
human William has no moral compass. He broke every ethical ethical and moral research constraint.
But my family.
Yeah, to bring his family back. Yeah, he has no moral
but it was like
that,
but he was having they were like, oh, we can't do this type of deal, but it's like I don't know. Yeah. No.
Yeah, no. The human. I mean, you can't say, well, Robot William is doing what the human William would do, and they're supposed to be the same. Yeah. No, human William would have done that too.
Right.
Human William had no problems breaking ethical rules.
Yeah, that's true. And apparently, you can erase memories after they're already inside a brain.
No. I mean, you can through brain damage,
or a VR visor.
Visor. I don't know what the mechanism was for him being able to locate and actually erase those memories. I would assume he's somehow.
You do a Google word search for it.
You could maybe make the case that he did it before he reimplanted the memories. So he's got a map of the neurology.
Yeah, but remember
and then he goes, but then he did it to his daughter after she had already had this planted.
Right, after she had the nightmare.
So yeah, I don't.
Oh, you had a nightmare. Let me just erase that from your brain.
Right. Yeah. Let me fuck with your brain some more. That's never bitten people in the ass.
Yeah. So, and I thought this was going to go a little bit towards, I'm going to say Lazarus effect.
Where they were just going to go insane.
Well, not insane. Yeah. Not necessarily insane, but maybe a little bit more creepy, evil type of direction, because Alice was holding her chest where the tree went through her.
Right.
So I was like, oh, she's having like phantom pains or whatever. And, and then you get those little, there was always those little bits where she's like, they were trying to make it seem like they weren't quite right. Right. The entire time when they came back for their normal day, and then nothing happens from it.
Right.
It's, hey, I'm going to tell you what happened. Oh, okay. We're fine now.
Yeah. Yeah. It was kind of, they had seen really weird twitches where, I don't know,
the bowl or whatever.
Yeah. He missed the bowl. He was trying to put mashed potatoes on his plate, and he missed and put it actually in his drink. Right. He squeezed out like a half a bottle of fucking syrup on his pancake. Well, and
motor skills,
of course, I don't know if that was just because he's like, 12 or because of the brain implant. What else was there? Yeah. His wife seemed kind of odd, but I don't know if that's just Alice Eve's acting or if she was actually trying to portray that she was a little odd, because they didn't show enough of her before the accident to really make a comparison.
Other than she, adored her husband.
Yeah. And, compared to the rest of the acting, she was like on par with, the flat affect from everybody else.
Right.
So, yeah, that was something they didn't really follow up with and probably didn't need to have in the movie.
Yeah. I do want to say that, that robot at the beginning, I'm sorry, but when it sounds like a hard drive spinning up and then modems going off in the background, it really, really makes me wonder what the
those are technology sounds.
Yeah, it makes me wonder what's running that thing.
That's how technology sounds.
Okay, how often do they have to change the hamster inside?
Right. Yeah. No, it's a dual processor. It's got two hamsters.
Two hamsters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, man.
Yeah. It's not a great movie. It's not even a really good movie.
It had potential.
It did.
And it couldn't decide where it wanted to go.
No, it wove into so many different lanes. It lost focus really fast.
One would say it's like it went off a cliff into a river.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nose first into a river and then ended up on its ass somehow.
Well,
with no damage to the front.
The back end is heavier than the front end with the engine in it.
Right. All right. You got a haiku for us this week?
I do. This one's titled Matrix Part 5. Wi-Fi brain upload. Cloning is hard until plot. Is the robot paid?
Right. Yeah, you have to wonder, does the robot get paid? Do you think they share some of their pay with Keanu's family?
He had a nice fancy suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you got to look respectable.
You do.
You don't want to show up to those things naked, robot or not.
No, you need to be. You gotta woo your clients.
Right.
I mean, just the fact that there's a robot walking around having a genuine conversation with you isn't enough.
Right.
They need to dress right.
Exactly.
I was all in until I saw that he didn't wear pants. And then I'm not doing it.
Out.
Deal's off.
Deal breaker.
Yep.
All right, you got any awards?
I do, because I'm supposed to.
Who's got your head or black lung?
I don't have one.
Don't have one.
I didn't see anybody like smoking.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah. So Doc Coddle.
Yep. Doc Coddle goes to mine too.
Coddle Doc.
Head Lush.
According to my thing here, I put the head lush as William because there was some drinking involved when his family died, and he's having to make some decisions, and there's no way he was sober those entire 17 days.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But again, never saw any.
Yeah, I didn't.
Was there? No, yes, there was. There was wine at the dinner, wasn't there?
Wine at the dinner.
At dinner, yeah. Maybe.
Oh,
I don't remember.
Remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't think there was. I don't remember seeing any alcohol at all. So mine's going to honorary. Oh shit! Who is our honorary head lush now? Is it still Richard Dawson?
Yeah, it's still Richard Dawson.
Because I know we changed somebody, but okay. So honorary Richard Dawson. It's been a while since I've given a head lush to honorary.
Yeah.
All right, player.
So this one, I went ahead and just gave it to Alice Eve's character, mostly because she was putting Keanu in his place, in terms of, hey, we're going to deal with this, and then you're talking to me, type of deal, So you knew she's got an ass.
So she played you.
Like a fiddle.
Like a fiddle. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mine's actually going to go to Keanu's character.
Okay.
Because he managed to convince her awfully quick that, what he did was fine, and she seemed okay with it really fucking quick. Yeah.
For the children.
Yeah. So he's either just a super convincing kind of person, and I didn't see that in the character, or he's got like a dick that like spews rainbows. So I'm going to go with Rainbow Dick.
Rainbow Dick.
Yep.
All
right. Who's got your purple hippo?
And I just thought of something before I do my purple hippo. I just thought of something. They killed off the only dude that could successfully clone humans.
No, I mean, Keanu Reeves knows how to do it now.
No, Keanu Reeves knows to keep the levels right.
Well, I mean, the goo is already made.
What's the goo ratio? Was he taking notes?
Goo ratio.
Yeah. What's the goo ratio of amino acids to whatever?
I mean, the goo is manufactured at where they live.
Yeah. All right.
Or where they work, not where they live.
Oh, you think it's just one giant barrel that goes in? You don't think it's a mixture of the black barrel and the blue barrel?
Yeah, I think it's just one barrel.
Okay. All right. Well, still, whatever. Purple hippo. I'm giving it to the military guy at the beginning for tearing his face off.
Oh yeah.
Because his brain couldn't find his heart.
Purple hippo. I think I'm going to give my purple hippo to Robo Keanu for basically coming back online and then seeing yourself and realizing that you're now a robot and like a separate self from the person that you got your mind from. That would be kind of trippy for both of them, but I think Robo Keanu, I think I'm going to give mine to him.
Yeah, so do you think, though, that the algorithm actually worked? Or...
Well, no, I mean, it did. He didn't tear his head off.
But here's the question, though. Did it work because of the algorithm, or did it work because Keanu knew what he was doing, and so when he came online, he knew what was happening, and he accepted it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean...
Because they never tried it again on a robot. It was always the human.
True.
Right?
That's a good question. Because they kept talking about watershed consciousness. And
right.
whatever that's supposed to mean. But
well, it's
the
like
guy,
water under the bridge.
Right. The guy that they revived at the very beginning of the movie seemed conscious. He seemed to be able to. He was just kind of freaking out because he didn't know who or what he was.
Right.
And
because
then
he
started
wasn't told.
to rip off his face.
Well, yeah, you look down and you see that you have like robot hands or whatever. And then you're like, you can't feel anything.
His perception is totally different. He's kind of freaking out. So is this kind of a psychotic break that he had? Or is this, he didn't reach this so-called watershed consciousness? Yeah. Not sure. Whereas Keanu knew that he was going to be, he knew that he had downloaded his mind. And so whenever he came in, was it actually the new algorithm that interfaced his mind with the new robot body, or was it just him understanding
what was going on?
Yeah, his environment and what was happening. That's a good question. Now, they also said that the brain was also looking for lungs and a heart and all that. And did we really even see that in the movie? Did we notice? They just said that. They didn't really show any examples of that or back up that claim. So that's a good question. And it's something that the movie just kind of left open, or it's another big plot hole. So,
well, it's full of them.
Yeah.
That's how you let the water in so that people can drown.
Right. So we'll just chalk that up to another fucking plot hole and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because Keanu gets out without a scratch in the front seat, and then the 3 kids in the back seat apparently...
No, he had a bump on his head. Well, had some blood on his forehead.
Yeah, but I mean, then the 3 kids in the back seat die from what?
Drowning.
So you think they were knocked out and then drowned in the river?
I guess so.
While they were knocked out?
I mean, it doesn't help that none of the airbags in that van went off.
Well, Institute of Highway Safety has different requirements in Puerto Rico.
Yeah? You think so?
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
For this.
So now is the time.
Is now the time.
Now is the time.
The time is now.
The time is now. You need to pick a number between 1 and 152.
1 and 152. All right. Let's go with let's go with 17, because that's the number of days that it takes to clone a body.
17. All right.
I believe it was either 17 or 15. I'm going to say it's 17. Just because that seems to stick in my head.
Okay. 17. Uh-oh.
Oh, shit. I don't like...
All right, so next episode, we will be discussing the movie where after a ferry is bombed in New Orleans, an ATF agent joins a unique investigation and using experimental surveillance technology to find the bomber, but soon finds himself becoming obsessed with one of the victims.
We've watched this.
We have watched this. I did not mark this.
Yeah, this is Jake Gyllenhaal.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, we have not watched this. It is similar to one that we've watched, but no, we haven't watched this.
Okay, say it again here.
After a ferry is bombed in New Orleans.
Oh, a ferry. Okay.
An ATF agent joins a unique investigation using experimental surveillance technology to find the bomber, but soon finds himself becoming obsessed with one of the victims.
Yeah, that sounds just
it does sound just like that.
Because that was a bombing on a train.
Yeah. This stars Denzel Washington, Paula Patton, and Jim Caviezel.
Caviezel. Man. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it.
What is it? 2006's Deja Vu.
Oh, okay. So I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I haven't seen that one. I was thinking at first, like, I want to say it's Black Hat or something like that, but that one's got That one was with Hemsworth.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth.
In it. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Or there was also another one. There was another one where it was surveillance and everything like that, and they were running away from like CCTVs and.
Yeah.
Who that one was. Yeah.
But it's from producer Jerry Bruckheimer. Oh, this looks like it's got Val Kilmer in it too. Oh, interesting. It's got Denzel Washington. So Denzel, I don't know of many movies that Denzel has done that were bad movies. So,
this could be the first.
It could be, but it gets some decent ratings on IMDb. It's got a 7.1 out of 10, so that's not too bad.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Next episode, maybe, possibly. We'll see. But that's all we've got for this week. Our intro and outro music is Welcome Home by Cambo. Podcrawl music is Snack Mix by Machette. If you like the show, please rate and review us on iTunes. You can leave us feedback on our Discord channel at smokinganddrinkinginspace.com/Discord. On Twitter at @status_podcast, or you can email us at smokinganddrinkinginspace@outlook.com. If you'd like to throw a few nickels our way, you can become a Patreon supporter by going to smokinganddrinkinginspace.com/Patreon. And make sure to visit Gonna Geek for more great shows at gonnageek.com. For this week, I am Jason.
So I'm just asking, is crossing over sci-fi?
Crossing over?
I mean, Wikipedia shows it as being a drama. Can we just say it's sci-fi so I can see some Alice Eve boobs?
No. We'll talk to you next time. And this week we reviewed the movie where we learned that our speaking spells had feelings. It stars Keanu Reeves, Alice Reeve.
Not Alice Reeve.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
And this week we review. And this week we fuck you. And this week we reviewed the movie where we learned that our speaking spells had feelings. It stars Keanu Reeves, Alice Eve, and Thomas Middleditch. It's 1980. Fucking shit.
Were you about to say like 1980 something? God.
1981's Replicas.
That's an old movie.
Okay. All right. Okay.